There's only so many times in your life that you're going to get the chance to be part of something that's historic.
All right.
And what's happening in New Brunswick right now is historic. It's not happening in any other city in the United States.
The city government currently is made up of a mayor and 5 city council people who are elected through the whole city at large, meaning that they are charged with representing all 55,000 residents of the city.
The way things work right now is there's a city council who are essentially nothing more than a rubber stamp for the mayor.
To be frank with you, right now, the 5 council people vote in such unison that we really don't have any control.
Councilmember Cook. Aye. Councilmember Egan. Aye. Councilmember Racine. Aye. Councilmember Valenti. Aye. Councilmember Garlotti.
Yes.
And they follow the dictates of the mayor or the developers or the power players or whatever it is. So what's the sense of having a majority if they're going to all go some way that has nothing to do with what the neighborhoods need?
I moved here 6 years ago, and after a few years, I started to realize that the same 5 or 6 people were making all the decisions in the town.
The at-large system tends to make the government less responsive or connected to the population.
With a ward-based government, it guarantees that every neighborhood gets a voice or a representative on the city council.
I think the city should change because it would give us more representation within the neighborhoods, and they would have more diverse voices on the council. You know, that's what they say. But as far as the way that we look at it is that just because a person is inside the neighborhood, you can get, New Brunswick is a serious place, and we need serious people on the council.
I think that we should just go through the courts and have an election and debate this. Are we going to have like an open forum to just debate the issues at some point?
The other group says, oh, you need debate, but yet so many people out there say government should run like a business.
Right now, businesses are so corrupt and so crooked and so greedy that I would not ever say that a city or anything should run as a business.
Being a businessman, you want it to be run efficiently. You want it to be run smoothly. You want to have debate, but then ultimately make a decision and then have that decision move forward smoothly.
I would not say that the city should run like a business. I say that it should run like a family, because in most families, there's respect.
I know my position. Now, maybe we've been up here too long. Maybe I've been on the council too long. There's nothing wrong with young people getting involved and wanting to make a statement. That's how I started. I started standing outside that window 15 years ago saying I want to change, but I did something about it, and that's why I'm here today. Go ahead.
Are they perfect? No, of course not. I think sometimes when people are in place for a long time, maybe sometimes they get comfortable.
But I do know this one fact. I'm a born and raised resident of the city, been here all my life, and have worked in the community.
I think they recognize now that, yes, they have to be more accountable to the people. I'm not saying that they're not, but I know that they can do better. Just like any other city, we can always do better.
On November 3rd, the voters in New Brunswick are going to get an opportunity they haven't had since 1986 to vote on whether or not they want to change their system of government, like change the actual system in which the elections happen.
And have there be one city council person from each ward. And a ward would be tentatively 8,000 people. So talking to everyone inside of one ward is a lot more realistic.
When you break up the communities into little diverse groups, we're no longer one city going in one direction, but we become like a loose confederation. Everybody's working for their wards, just saying, okay, I want this for my ward, I want that for my ward.
Right now we have a city council that is extraordinarily out of touch with the people they're supposed to be representing.
I had coffee with the city public information officer, Bill Bray, and he was like, so if you have so many problems, why don't you just come to the city government? And like, when have you come to the city council and brought forward a concern with your city?
We're paying the taxes in the neighborhoods and we're not getting services. And we're not getting a response. Keon would not have grown as it did if we had come here and got a response. You won't even turn the table to face us. You face one another. I can see the look on your face now. You're just bored. You just want me to sit down. But my life and my fortune is invested in this city. And so I have aligned everything I have with Eon, because they're the hope for change for the residents in the neighborhoods.
And like, that has been happening. Like, I've been at city council meetings where like people bring forward their concerns and are just not respected or their concerns taken.
One of the functions that they have with the city is during the city council meeting. Totally disconnected from the majority of people in New Brunswick.
Do the four council members present tonight have a official stance on the upcoming ballot question?
Yeah, I'm against it.
Yes, I do have a sign on my wall.
One city council member has been on the city council for 30 years. Others, some 10, 15 years.
The only crown candidate that there is in New Brunswick, his name is Jim Cahill, and he's been there for 20 years.
It's election time. Now we see the mayor come out. Now we hear robocalls. Now we hear everyone knocking on doors.
Hi, this is Mayor Jim Cahill. On November 3rd, New Brunswick voters will decide whether to stay united and work together or tear our city apart into wars.
Obviously, that we just had 2 murders the other day, shootings. It doesn't hit the newspapers, people don't know about it, so everyone thinks everything is fine.
A united New Brunswick has produced safer neighborhoods, more affordable housing, better schools, and lower unemployment than any other city in the state.
If they want to do something, they should do something on my side of the city, in Ward 4. Where we're struggling to try to survive, where people were killed, and it wasn't even in the newspaper. It doesn't make a difference to them.
Crime in the city is underreported. Just this week alone, 2 people got shot dead. Another third person got shot just for asking for a cigarette.
The difference you're going to see in those folks who are working for the machine, because United New Brunswick is just a ridiculous front that popped up last week. To even mention that name is silly. It's Mayor Cahill and his machine. It's called Unite New Brunswick Today. It was called Vote No in 2000. It's the same people.
They attack you, like the lit that they have going out now, talking about that we're going to raise taxes, and they talk about all this stuff, but they don't talk about all the years that they've been in power and how they have been able to suppress people for all these years.
Those folks who work under the machine structure, that structure stifles them. It's not democratic, it doesn't breathe. So their humanity is shrunk.
I think the sad thing about all this is that they think that people in the first ward actually believe we're trying to take something away from them. And that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that what they have is wonderful. It's a great way to live. We just want to duplicate that and triplicate that throughout the whole city.
We don't want to take anything away from those neighborhoods by any means, but we just want every other neighborhood to have what those neighborhoods have.
Why is it that the majority of the city council lives in one area? Is that by accident?
Like I said, for the past 30 or 40 years, the system that we've had in place have brought us from a long way.
There's people and there's systems, and some systems repress and limit and work through fear and innuendo and slander, and you debase yourself when you do that, right? If you go around and you spend your whole day lying about people, you debase yourself. You just become known as a liar.
Where it's being tried at right now in Hoboken. Yes, Hoboken may have a lower crime level than us, but right now Hoboken, as you can see, their last 2 mayors have gone to jail for corruption.
To say that wards will create corruption is just completely removed from the context of the situation. Like, we have a system in New Brunswick that's very prone to corruption and has actually like proven instances of corruption within the city government as recently as 2007. In New Brunswick, we had a mayor who is currently in jail, and he was the mayor for several terms, and the current mayor is his second cousin.
Other systems are open, democratic, and full of hope and full of potential and teamwork and vision and struggle and sacrifice.
We are operating out of an office that, like, for a large part of the campaign had no electricity. Like, we were like working on like no money, pretty much. Like, all of us work for free.
People that are in our coalition are students that are working 30, 40 hours a week, plus they're doing their studying.
Our campaign is really great. Like, a lot of people are able to like express themselves in a lot of different ways.
They want to give back to the community. They feel like they're a part of the community, even though they have no voice. No voice at all.
Every day we send out a canvas and onto the streets talking to people in New Brunswick. We're calling people, like, all day people are taking ownership over programs.
And those systems help people become the best that they can be and fully develop as human beings. They actually have become part of a process where they've liberated themselves because they have learned to work with others and to actually change the world.
The shitty thing about elections is that they always happen on a Tuesday when like a lot of people have to work. So we're trying to make sure that everyone can vote, even if you can't make it to the polls on election day. So we're trying to get lots of folks to vote early.
People need to get involved in one form or another, and this is the opportunity for them to get involved.
in local government, in city government, we can make a really powerful difference. Just a few people, just like these guys that we have up here right now.
We are the people we were waiting for.
Unlike in other elections, that maybe they believe that their one vote is not going to make a difference. One vote right now will make a difference.
The hopes that everyone shares is that we can start creating a process that will be very open, with lots of candidates for all the positions, and open debates, and every community being involved.
They make it seem like these kids are radical kids. These are good, hard-working, young American kids that are trying to do their best to be a positive influence in our community. And they just shoot them down. Don't you want your future to be secure? You're not going to be 30 or 40 or 50 forever. There's going to be a day that you're no longer be in power. Don't you want the people that are coming, the next generation, to be the generation to understand what it takes to run this city, and also hopefully to take care of you, so when you get old, so that they don't treat you like the way you treated them?